Hello, everybody. It is, I think, a third of the way through our semester. So, long time no see. I know. You guys have been mostly hearing me talk through lectures, right? And talking to you guys through the discussion boards and through emails and all that stuff. So, everybody's making pretty good progress. I've got a couple notes that I want to sort of put on everybody's radar, and as well as some concerns that I've seen in terms of some of the work that I've encountered while grading everybody. Okay, and as well, I'm gonna spell it out here. Exam one. So hopefully your spidey senses have been tingling. You know it was coming. Um, and if you take a look at the calendar for this week, there's nothing there, right? Only things are due. So this was going to be exam week. Okay. So first of all, let me actually get with the exam first. So I've opened up the exam. It's going to happen on Saturday. Okay. Saturday the 30th. Okay. Uh, you have uh, you have all of Saturday to take it. Okay. Um, and it'll open up the second you click on it. Okay, so the second that you click on it, the 2 hour counter will start. Okay, you can take it whenever on Saturday. Once you do, though, right, that's when the 2 hour timer starts, right? Um, so find yourself a very nice, quiet spot where you know you can concentrate for 2 hours. Okay, and also take papers with you because you will be required to show your work for the exam. Okay. Now, to give you guys some practice, I've also opened up a practice exam along with it. I put it up yesterday in the afternoon. Okay. And some of you guys have already emailed me about it. What's it about, right? It is a practice exam. Okay. So the way that I made the practice exam is that I made the exam first, and then I copied the exam to make it a practice exam. Okay. It's to get you practice. It's to practice. Okay. No work is required for the practice exam, right? However, since the actual exam does require practice, I suggest you start practicing on the practice exam by showing your work. Okay. So that means you should be that you should be even if it's a practice, right? That you should treat it as an exam. So the second you start the exam, the practice exam, it'll give you 2 hours. So take the 2 hours to practice going through the motions. Okay. For the actual exam, the one on Saturday, the 30th. Okay. That exam, you will have to turn in a write up. Okay, so just make sure that when you're doing the exam, you submit a write up. Okay, if you don't submit a write up, right, and I have no work from this exam, I will severely have to really reduce your grade. Okay, I will only give you a point for correct answers, and since I see no work, I won't give you credit for the work. So please turn in your write-ups along with it. Okay, on the practice exam, like I said, no work is required. You can go ahead and submit just the solutions, right? You have 5 attempts for the practice exam. Okay, so each one of those practice exams, treat them like an actual test. Okay, that's, I think, the best way to study. Okay, and like I said, get into the habit of showing your work on the practice exam. Okay, the practice exam will close on Friday, and the actual exam will be the next day, Saturday. Okay, so you have between now and this coming Friday to study for the exam, and that's take as many of the attempts as possible. Okay, like I said, 5 attempts. Highest one sticks. So if on the second attempt you get, the 120 out of 120, but the third attempt you get a 90 out of 120, that 120 out of 120, the second attempt is the one that sticks. Okay. Now, in terms of work, okay, and this is going to be a double whammy in terms of talking points here that I want to mention, because this is this goes in line with what I've seen with some of the work that some of you have submitted to your for your quick checks and for your lecture questions. Okay. Um, uh, in terms of work, make sure you show all your steps. It's best to be overly explanatory than not. Okay. That's one. And two, it behooves everyone to just read the directions and follow what's there. So let me show you guys what I want to sort of show you guys that what I've seen, right, is and a lot of people have been emailing me about this. For section 3.1, when we learned what the derivative was, right? And the quick check asked to do the derivative by the limit definition, right? Many of you, no, well, let me not say many, a sizable handful of you submitted derivatives using the shortcuts, right? When the instructions explicitly stated, please find the derivative using the limit definition. Okay, and some of you guys got reduced grades for those quick checks, and some of you got reduced grades for those lecture questions, right? That those algebraic steps, those that work that you had to show, right, is critical, is required for that material. Okay, and it's required for you to complete for this class. Okay, just make sure, right, at this point, right, like I said, in the syllabus, once I grade something, that's it. So moving forward now, just make sure that you follow the definition, or that you follow the instructions, that you make sure you do the problems appropriately with the knowledge that you currently have. Okay, and which goes as well toward the academic integrity of everybody taking this class. I make it a case to enforce academic integrity with all of you, right? But I am not going to sit here and police it. Okay, which means I will not. I am not doing too much more to find out whether or not you are cheating. Okay, but if I do encounter work that shows that the work that you are submitting is not your own, I will enforce it as far as the college will allow. Okay, so what does this mean? There are multiple ways for you to get answers for any of the questions that I give you on the internet. Okay, this is basically honor, Scout's honor. I expect you not to. Okay, and if I do see that you are submitting work that is not of your own hand, I will report to college management, and they will take whatever action is deemed necessary. Okay. With that being said, like I said, there have been a couple instances, I will say that few, where I can definitely tell that the work was not their own. Okay, that it was copied from another source. The answers were correct, and all the work was complete, but it was using methods that we do not yet know. Okay, in those instances, right, if that happens on an exam, I will be reporting. Okay, so in all, right, you guys signed up for an online class. There's a bit more of an expectation that you all finish and complete the work sort of wholeheartedly, right, in good faith, and to show everything, to show as much as you can. Okay, now in terms of the test itself, I do realize that you guys don't meet with me at all. So what I'm going to do for this Friday, the last day of the practice exam. Um, with the exception of one meeting that I have from 10 to 12, uh, I will be on my Zoom the entire day until 7 o'clock. So I will be on Zoom from about 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 o'clock at night, should anybody have questions. Okay. Um, uh, for the practice exam, try to find yourself a nice spot. That's why I'm giving everybody 5 attempts. Um, try to find yourself a good spot where you won't be losing internet connection, whether that be your kitchen table, whether that be a coffee table at a Starbucks, whether that be at the public library, whether it be at the LMC library, whatever, right? Just so you know that you can sit for 2 hours and 30 minutes to finish this exam. Okay. So yeah, I think that would be it. If there are any questions, I've been pretty good about answering emails and about opening my Zoom during my office hours. If there's any questions, email me, office hours. I do have my Zoom open, right? I've been getting into the habit of checking emails even at night before I go to bed. So, talk to me, right? Besides that, I hope to see you guys if you show up on Friday. And besides that, happy studying.